Today I'm going to be doing a different style video. It's going to be a come cook with me video. I'm really not going to edit it too much, so it's going to be raw, uncut, and unfiltered. And today we're going to be making sourdough, one of my favorite things to make. So let's go. Let's get cooking. So let's see. Let me get my organic bread flour. Need a bowl. Scale. So what I'm doing right now, I'm just getting my scale and my bowl all set. I think I'm probably gonna do a white flour and whole wheat sourdough, because it's usually what I make, and it's a little bit more healthy to put some whole wheat in there and not just use all white flour. So I'll probably do 400 grams of white flour and 100 grams of whole wheat flour. I love working with flour and water and making all kinds of doughs, pasta, breads, rotis, all different kinds of stuff with flour and water. I just love the process behind it. It's so relaxing. So I got 400 grams of bread flour and then 100 grams of whole wheat, totaling 500 grams. I've been testing these sourdough recipes for months now, and it seems like anywhere between like 88 and 92% hydration gives you a really good loaf. So I'll probably make something along those lines. So let's see. I have to check exactly how much flour to add, how much water to add. I think it's 350 grams. So hard to remember with all these different hydrations that I use. Let's see. 100, 445. You know, let's just do 450. 450 would be like a 91 or 92% hydration. It's pretty high. Let's see what happens. So I'm just gonna mix the water and the flour first and let it sit probably for like an hour and just do like a autolyse. Helps the gluten form. I say 450, yeah, 450. $440. Oh, 450. Oh, I guess we're doing 453. A little bit of water, extra water won't be that bad. I try to get my wife to make bread and stuff with me and teach her how to do this stuff. She hates working with dough. I don't know why, but she just does. I think she has PTSD from when she was a kid and have to make parathas and rotis with her mom, and she'd hate the whole kneading process, getting dough and sticky and stuff. Oh wow, this dough is pretty wet. You can probably see this. Yeah, it's pretty wet. Well, we'll see what happens. Alright. It's gonna be a sticky dough, I can already tell you that. So I'm just gonna cover this for about an hour and then come back to it and add the starter and the salt. All right, so the dough has been auto-leasing for quite a while now. Probably a couple hours because I got distracted and I ended up making dinner. I actually filmed a video. It's okonomiyaki, which is like a Japanese pancake. And it's got like shrimp and bacon and bonito flakes in it, and cabbage and eggs. It's really good. That video will be up sometime this week. But anyway, so the auto lease, the dough seems to be form some structure. So now we're gonna add the salt and the starter. Starter smells nice. It smells sweet. So I use 100 grams of starter, and the starter is 100% hydration. Let's see. So my starter doubled in size in a couple hours. That's always a great sign. Lots of bubbles. It's really stretchy. When it's really stretching, it's a good sign as well. Not liquidy. You don't want a liquidy starter. 2 should be good. Hundreds. Nice. Now we're gonna do 500 grams. I'm gonna do 12 grams of salt. There's people that say don't use like coarse salt. I don't know, my salt's pretty coarse, but I feel like it works fine. It all like dissolves anyway. So that, I'm gonna wet my hands, because always should wet your hands when you're touching the dough so it doesn't stick too much. I'm just gonna like fold it. It's already got some good structure from the auto lease. Yeah, this dough is gonna be a wet dough for sure. Let this sit for probably like a half hour, 45 minutes, just to let the gluten relax and stuff, and it'll be easier to handle that way. So we'll come back to it in 45 minutes. And we're just gonna cover this and then come back to it. Oh, actually, in the meantime, we can feed our starter. So I make it so I have about like, after I make bread, I have about that much starter left. So I'm just gonna feed it now for the night. And then I'll probably put it in the refrigerator. It's probably not gonna make bread for 3 or 4 days. So we'll do 60 grams of water. And I use AP flour. 60 grams of AP. Stir this up. Now, if I make this at night, the best time for me to make it if I want to cook with it in the morning, the later the better. So probably around midnight, and then in the morning the bread it'll be perfect to use. But I find that if I make it like in the morning, like around 8 or 9, and then it usually doubles in size in a couple hours. I can make bread the same day. Just depends how early I wake up, I guess. That's it. Starter's fed. That's it. Then we'll come back to the bread in about 30 minutes. All right, so it's been about 35 minutes. So we're gonna give this a couple stretch and folds. It's pretty liquidy. I feel like this is like a 92% hydration. This is gonna be a little tricky to work with, I feel like. Sweat my hands a little. Oh yeah. The gluten is building. So I'm just gonna do about 4 or 5 stretch and folds. It's tightened up, ready. That's it. We'll come back to it in another 30-35 minutes. All right, we're gonna do another set of stretch and folds. See how the dough looks. Oh yeah, it's looking pretty good now. It's not tearing at all. Do 5. That's it. Now we'll give it another 30 minutes and we'll do a final stretch and fold, and then we're on to bulk fermentation after that. All right, this is gonna be the last stretch and fold, and then it's gonna go into bulk fermentation. Probably for 5-6 hours. Oh yeah, it's looking really good. Not as sticky anymore. That's it. See you guys in 5 hours. All right, so it's about 5 hours later. We got really nice bubbles on the dough. It's definitely jiggly. It's ready to be turned out. It's definitely going to be sticky for sure. Got my balance in here, ready to go. Put some flour in that. I'm excited to see how this is going to come out. Super high hydration. My hands. I really gotta get a plastic bench scraper. Alright, let's see. Yeah, it's sticky. Just gonna fold it in half again. Let's see. Super hard to manage, as I predicted. It's wet. Let's see. See if we can create some tension. Getting there. It's looking pretty nice and smooth. This I find is the best technique, is just wet your hands and just drag it across the top of the table. Create some nice surface tension. See, it's not sticky anymore. I mean, it is, but it's not, you know. I think maybe we'll put some sesame seeds on this loaf. Haven't done that in a while. That's good. I mean, that's beautiful right there. I usually don't cover this, and I usually only let it rest for 5 to 10 minutes. I find it doesn't dry out. It's so hydrated, I can't see how it would. But yeah, it's nice now. Lots of micro bubbles. Looks good already. Give it the final shape. Let me wet this. Some flour, actually. Flour. Flip. Just do some stitching. Sometimes the stitching doesn't really stick, so just press it with your fingers. Now I'm just gonna tuck and roll. Whoa. Squeeze it on the sides. Oh, it's double sticky. I'm gonna create a little more tension on this dough. I feel like it's kind of a little coming apart. There we go. Add it in. Go. Looking pretty good. This is definitely my most hydrated dough I've ever done, I think. I gotta do the final calculation to see what the actual hydration is. It's looking pretty good though. Haven't done the final stitching yet. I usually do another few stitches. I mean, I'm not sure I will on this one actually. It looks really good. Yeah, let's give it a few. tear it. I think that's good. I think this is going to be a nicely shaped loaf. We'll find out tomorrow. Just some flour on it. Put it in the fridge overnight for a slow fermentation. All right, I'll see you guys in the morning. Hey, welcome back. So it's the next morning and I'm gonna get the dough out of the refrigerator now, see how it looks. I also have the oven preheating at 500 degrees and I have my water bath on the bottom shelf. It's been about an hour, so everything should be preheated pretty nicely. Let's see. Dough looks, oh, dough looks really nice. Still got some jiggles. Passes the poke test. Poke test is you poke the dough, it should spring back slowly. It might be slightly overproof, this dough, but I find like the overproof dough, it bakes up really nice. So only if it's slightly overproof, not if it's like super overproof. Some parchment paper. Baking is definitely like my favorite part of making the sourdough. It's probably most people's. I usually bake my bread at 500, as high as my oven goes, for 40 minutes, and I leave the water in the whole time. I find that on my oven's like, I feel like it's weird, but if I leave my oven on 500 and I have a big thing of water on the bottom, it's gonna constantly like try to get the oven to 500, so it'll never turn off, and I get a really nice dark golden brown color on my crust. If I don't do that, it comes out light, which is super weird and counterintuitive than what like everyone else says. Everyone's like, oh, take the water out after 20 minutes. I just leave mine in and I get great results. So there's never just one way to do something. Remember that. And I also make my bread with limited amount of tools. I don't have one of those fancy scores. I don't have a dough whisk. I don't have one of those Dutch ovens that cover it. So I make mine the most minimal possible way, and it still comes out great. So I mean, it's proof in the pudding. You don't need to buy all these fancy things to make bread, and a lot of times you don't need a lot of fancy things to do a lot of things. So just practice and just do it. You know, that's a pretty good score. Lately, I haven't been getting much of an ear, but then like, I don't know, like, do you really need an ear? Like, is it like, I feel like it's fine. Like, it cuts better anyway. It's more easy. The slices come out nicer. I don't know. That's my hot take. So let's see. All right. Gonna move my bread over this way. Well, I probably should have got a bigger piece of parchment. For 40 minutes. So we'll come back in 40 minutes and we'll see how the bread looks. All right, the bread is all done. Let's take a look and see. Whoa. Looks really good. As you can see, I've left the water in the whole time. Whoa. Beautiful, deep golden brown color. That's how I like my bread, at least. I don't like it blonde. I feel like the deeper the color, the more flavor the bread has. Whoa. So this bread ended up being 91.5% hydration. Looks pretty good to me. It did kind of spread out a little bit, but still looks good. Nice crispy crust. Nice little micro bubbles everywhere. Let's get it on the cooling rack. I did have a little bit of oil in this pan by accident. That's all right though. Hot, hot. Bottom's nice. Whew. Bottom looks good. This is from the parchment paper. Still nice and crispy. Looks pretty good. So we'll come back to that bread in about like 1.5 to 2 hours. Once it cools down, and then we'll cut into it, and we'll see how the crumb looks. But I'm pretty positive that the crumb's gonna be money. All right, I'll see you guys in 2 hours. All right, the bread has completely cooled off for the most part. I'm gonna cut into it and see what the crumb looks like. I did the calculation. This is a 91.5% hydration. So it's probably the highest hydration I've ever made. So let's check it out. Let's cut it open. I'm excited. All right. There we go. It's definitely light and airy inside, that's for sure. And here we go. Whoa. Crumb looks super nice. Smells delicious. It's actually slightly warm still. It's super light and airy, for sure. Nice open crumb. It's not too holy, which is nice. It's actually perfect. This is like perfect for sandwiches and eggs in the morning is what I usually have with it. So yeah, thanks for watching. And if you guys like this kind of format, I'll do more of these. But yeah, I'll see you guys on the next one.